Environmental Protection Agency reports that the average American household leaks 10,000 gallons of water annually. Nationwide, that's 1 trillion gallons of water per year, and that equates to the annual household water usage of more than 11 million homes. So what are some of the most common leaks around the house?
Worn flappers on toilets, dripping faucets are a few, and oh yes, outdoor water leaks. In fact, some sobering statistics: 40 to 60% of the water we use is devoted to outdoor use, and as much as 50% of the water we use outdoors is wasted by inefficient watering systems, methods, and leaks. California's water supply is becoming increasingly overtaxed. Ventura Water has recently asked customers to reduce their water usage by 10%. So curbing water leaks and waste can play a big part in water savings.
Ryan Nelson with Kimball Plumbing is going to take us on a home tour, inside and outside, to show us how to spot those pesky leaks before they impact the environment and our pocketbook.
If you come home to a large puddle in your grass, you could identify if it's irrigation or your domestic line running to your house. If you shut your irrigation down and the puddle grows larger or stays the same, you might want to go to your meter in the front of your house at your curb and shut the valve off closest to your house on the meter. If there's a leak in your house or flooding, possibly even in your backyard, that valve will shut anything off from the front of the house towards the back. This is your water meter, and if you're having problems, you could use your pinky, open this lid, open the big part, and there's gonna be spiders. Now, this is your water meter. There's 2 valves. This first valve is gonna shut off meter or water before your meter. The second valve is gonna keep water live through your meter till this point. So they will both shut down the same thing. The reason there's a valve in front and behind is to change the meter or work on the meter. If you suspect a leak on your property and you cannot see it, you could open your meter, and on my meter I have a black triangle. That is a leak indicator. You can look at this black triangle. Some are red, some are black. And if that is spinning like it is right now, you have a leak. If you come home to a bunch of water in your driveway or your grass, or even a geyser spitting up from a sprinkler head, you can go over to your irrigation system and start shutting valves down there to isolate the problem. And if that does not work, you rely on your other valves, either your meter or the valve towards your house. So if I came home to a leak in my yard, I'm gonna come over to where my irrigation device is and shut a valve down in these bushes. Okay, now we are in the kitchen. So if you come home to a leaky faucet, play with your handles. It might shut down, it might not. Every faucet is unique. They have their own stems, cartridges. If you're pretty handy, you might be able to fix it. There could be the angle stops underneath your sink. Those could also leak down by your P-trap and all the plumbing. There's flex lines that go up to your faucet. They could be leaking there also. A way to determine if it's leaking under there is basically look and feel, sometimes listen. If you come home and your windows in your house are wet from condensation, that is a possibility that you have a leak on your hot side of your system, so coming from your water heater. Another leak you might find on your water heater could either be the heater itself, the tank, or one of the flex lines that leads to or goes out from your tank. Just like anything else, they can spring a leak. It's just identifying where exactly the problem is and making a solution. With a washer and dryer system, your washer has shutoffs also. Some look like hose bibs, or some are just normal angle stop type shutoff valves. A leak could be at those valves or on the hoses that lead to your washing machine. There is a connection on either side, at the valve and at the washer. Dishwashers are like any other. They have a supply line running to them. Most of the time they are running from underneath your sink, from the hot side angle stop. If you suspect a leak on your washer, you could shut down the hot side and identify the problem. If there is no water appearing after that is shut down, you've figured it out. To pinpoint a leak in your ceiling or your wall, basically you'll see, hear, or feel water. You can actually feel a little more humidity in your house, bubbling of paint, yellowing of ceilings. All those are signs of leaks in or above a wall. Some common leaks you'll find in the bathroom, we'll start with the toilet. The toilet is the most common. It could be your fill valve, filling your toilet tank too high and the water's going down the overflow. Your flapper could just be a little old and worn out. That could cause a leakage of water, intermittently filling your toilet tank. If it shuts off and turns on and shuts off and turns on, it's most likely your flapper. If it keeps running, it's probably the fill valve or water overflowing into the overflow. There are dye kits you could buy to dye the water in your tank. And those are mainly to find where a leak is coming from that is externally leaking. Okay, this with the red cap, this is your fill valve. I push it down, water is filling up. Let it go, it stops. This right here is your overflow. So if your fill valve is not set properly, water could just run and run and run and overflow this fill valve. Your flapper is down below, which is connected by a chain to the flushing handle. If everything's good and nothing's going through the overflow, it must be your flapper that's leaking. Those are all fairly simple to change. Using some caulking or waterproof materials around toilet bases, your sinks, your faucets, around your tub and your tub valves is a good way to prevent leaks. Another leak would be your faucet. Drip at your faucet or leaks down at the angle stops or supply lines. Then you go to your shower. The tub spout could be dripping. That means your stems are going bad around your tub and your tub valves. You don't want any water necessarily going in your walls or anywhere else for the potential to create mold and damage your wood structure. Originally in these older homes, there was galvanized pipe used for the water system. That galvanized pipe tends to leak due to electrolysis and just wearing of the pipe. A lot of the homes in the area have been repiped or replumbed with copper or PEX, adding sustainable water pressure and life to your plumbing system. So the life of your plumbing, if done right with copper or PEX, could last longer than we last.
Visit sustainableventura.tv and search how to spot water leaks.
SustainableVentura.tv for a better tomorrow.